The lights were off in the bedroom. Tian Hao pushed open the bedroom door and went to reach for the light switch on the wall. Before she even pressed the switch, there was already light in the room. She furrowed her brows and was about to walk in when she stopped, dazed, in her tracks. There were 2 rows of candles at her feet with about a meter-wide pathway in between the rows. The candles wound around the bed and sofa and out towards the balcony, where the light was even brighter. With the light from the candles, Tian Hao saw that the walls were covered in light pink and purple balloons. On the wall directly facing the television, the 2 words "Happy Birthday" were spelled with the balloons. The whole scene looked familiar. Tian Hao stood there for a long time, before she strode over to the pathway formed by candles. She walked towards the balcony, and when she went around the sofa, she saw the entire balcony densely covered with candles. The orange glow from the candlelight radiated non-stop, accentuating the unlit red candle in the center, making it particularly eye-catching. It clearly spelled out the 4 words "Kiao Kiao, Happy Birthday." This was clearly the surprise she had originally prepared on Lu Jinian's birthday. While Tian Hao was in a deep trance, and before she could even register what was happening, the familiar sounds of footsteps came from behind her. She instinctively turned her head and saw Lu Jinian, who still wore the formal suit from the conference, holding a cake with lit candles in both hands. He calmly and elegantly strode towards her, as he emerged from the candlelight pathway. The glow from the candles all over the floor brought about a romantic atmosphere. A layer of creamy yellow light highlighted the compelling handsomeness of Lu Jinian's face. The reflection of light in his eyes made them particularly bright. Tian Hao's heart was transfixed by Lu Jinian, who drew closer to her 1 step at a time. She thought it was all an illusion. When Lu Jinian was half a meter away from Tian Hao, his feet stopped. He pushed the cake in both hands in front of her, and looked into her eyes with a rare seriousness and concentration. He said with magnetism in his voice, "Because there wasn't enough time, I wasn't able to personally bake you a cake like you did, so I had to ask my assistant to order a cake from Black Swan." Tian Hao, who had just walked into this scene, was already full of suspicion as to whether Lu Jinian knew about the preparations she had made on his birthday, but now, hearing it from his mouth, she was absolutely sure of it. She stared at it, and asked with a slight tremble in her voice, "You know?" Lu Jinian knew what Tian Hao was asking about. He blinked lightly, and gazed into her eyes. Keeping his cool, he first gave a slight nod before saying, "Yeah, I know." Tian Hao moved her lips, wanting to ask him how he knew, but before she could ask, he spoke again. He told her everything he wanted to tell her when he came back to Mianxia Garden on the day after his birthday, and found out that he'd missed the surprise she'd prepared him. "I'm so sorry. That night, because of my own reasons, I was in a bad mood and hurt you. I'm also sorry that I missed out on your surprise for me. I want to say sorry for that night." Lu Jinian paused for a moment, and then added, "And I want to say thank you for that night." With only the glowing candlelight lighting the room, Tian Hao stared at the charmingly handsome and noble man who left people breathless. The bottom of her eyes rolled up,